Hey guys, what's up, it's iPhone here, and today I'm going to be answering the question that you guys keep on asking me in the comment section. Flynn, what's the point in making a play like a pro video if you're just going to show a crap weapon and then proceed to tell us in that video that that weapon is crap? Alright, so like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, today I'm going to be answering that simple question, like why do you keep on making videos of shit weapons in a Play Like a Pro series, and then telling us in that Play Like a Pro series that that one weapon is crap. Now this is kind of weird, simply because it's more of a, I don't want to say a personal thing, but it's more of a, I'm going to put this video up here so I can use this as proof or evidence that not every single weapon in the game is a top tier weapon, because for some reason there are people who play this game that think that every single weapon in the game can basically like one-shot level 130 enemies, which just isn't true. I've been given shit before for calling a weapon master rank fodder and comparing it to another weapon and calling the weapon that I call master rank fodder basically useless because it doesn't compare as well to another weapon. Now it's kind of controversial like territory that we're getting in here, because you can basically call any weapon which is outclassed in any way, shape, or form master rank fodder. Depending on what your definition of master rank fodder is, I don't really give a damn. My definition of master rank fodder is a weapon that basically can't kill enemies over level 30 or maybe over level 50. And I know that's very few and far between, but there are weapons in the game that can actually do that even with a full build, that really struggle to kill enemies, or at the very least one-shot enemies at those levels. And there are people who go around in the community spreading basically false information, saying that you can put as many format as you want on any weapon in this game and then you're going to deal a buttload of damage just because you invested all this time into this one weapon. No, I'm going to be the honest guy and come out here and say not every single weapon in this game is a viable option. You can't format your MK1 Bratton and take it into a LOR. Well, theoretically you can do that. You can format your MK1 Bratton and take it into an LOR, but you're not going to compare as well to your teammates who are using Boltors or a weapon which is more suited for that raid, if you get what I mean. Because there has been people in the community, YouTubers and all, which have said, you can just take any weapon, format, and there you go, it's a top tier weapon now, which is basically not true. I'm not making this video to call anybody out, simply because there is so many people, not even massive YouTubers, but there's just like some Twitch streams that I go into, and there's some YouTube videos that I watch which basically just contain a lot of false information surrounding weapons in this game. They show a false understanding of how the damage works, and they basically played the game for 6 months and then sort of came to the conclusion that they're an expert at it because they made one weapon like one shot an enemy this one time playing like level 30 content, and they suddenly assume that whatever weapon they put a bunch of forma onto, they can basically make this weapon, oh yeah, best weapon in the game because it will one shot at level 30, if you get what I mean. When realistically, whenever we're talking about a pro build, we're talking about the player who wants to get involved in sorties, we're talking about the player who wants to get involved in raids, and basically kill enemies who are level 100 and higher, if you get what I mean. We're not talking about the player who just wants to play the mainstream content, take a break, stop playing, and maybe spend a little platinum here and there and to get the things that he can't be bothered farming from a sortie. That's not who we're talking about with a Play Like a Pro series. Whenever I do make the videos showing you guys that a weapon is crap, it's not to basically say that, oh yeah, this weapon has a chance at being good, this weapon has a chance at being mediocre. It's basically just to come out and say, yo guys, this weapon is crap, and then you being a pro player in quotation marks, you can just turn around and say to any new player in the game who may be looking to invest in one of those said weapons, this weapon is crap, don't bother investing your forma into it, don't do that. That's basically the thought process behind the Play Like a Pro videos, where we are demonstrating a very lackluster weapon. I'm not saying tell a new player to completely disregard weapons, because you do have to use them to get your master rank, blah 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 blah. Basically, the weapons that I say are crap are weapons that I basically say to a new player, get this weapon, level up to level 30, and then sell it for extra slots. That's basically what I would say to a new player if like they were asking me about, let's say for example, the Accolado or something like that there. You know, I'm not going to say, oh yeah, well, you can just put a bunch of forma on that weapon and it'll be as good as any other weapon, because that gives that player like a false illusion of what they can become and what they can do in the game. And that's not something that I necessarily want to promote on my channel. I want to be as straightforward as possible whenever it comes to relaying information about the game to you guys, and try not to sort of get my personal opinion mixed in it too much, because I have done that in the past and it didn't really turn out well. Cough cough in Aura's video. But yeah, so you know, I basically just want to demonstrate, these weapons are pretty bad in comparison to other weapons. Obviously, I'm not going to call every single weapon in the game Master Rank fodder if it isn't better than the Bolter Prime or the Dread or the Soma. Of course, I'm not going to say that. But weapons that fall off in an area pretty hard in comparison to other weapons, I am going to end up calling Master Rank fodder, because in my eyes, in my opinion, that weapon to me is basically a waste of time. And that's how I would classify Master Rank fodder, a weapon which you basically are wasting your time investing into it if there's something better laying waiting for you down the road. You get it, you level it up, you throw it away, and yeah, then you get your Soma Prime. You know, that's basically how I would look at Master Rank fodder. So it's not just because I want to make a video saying, oh yeah, this weapon's crap for the fun of it. There's actually a reason behind it. I don't want to spread false information around, or let false information get spread around by other people in the community, because believe it or not, they actually do that. I mean, if you do a little digging on the YouTubes and on the Twitch, you'll find out people actually say, yo, you can take any weapon in the game and make it good, when that's just not the case. Every weapon in this game has its place by like all means. Like, you can take your MK1 Braden, use it at the beginning of the game, that's fine, you'll deal damage that way, but not every weapon is made for every situation in the game, and anyone that tells you that they straight up don't know anything about the game. In reality, it depends on the situation that you're in, but there are weapons that just can't do like what you want them to do, which is kill things. It kind of brings me on to another topic about how complicated sort of modding in this game is, and how complicated it is to sort of understand stats. And like the community is all on these different pages. They'll have their different opinions revolving around weapons instead of keeping it simple. I feel like modding in this game and the weapon variety in this game has gotten way too vast. You know, there's no straightforward meta. There's nothing that you can really just say to a new player, okay, look, you have to go and get this weapon, and this is the best thing that you can possibly get, and then that'll allow you to go into this content. There's always this depends or it depends thing about it, which just, I feel, in my opinion, if you're looking at it from a community standpoint where you want to get everyone in the game to this one point and then continue making content from that point onwards, I think the modding system, or not the modding system, but the damage system and the weapon system in general needs to be sort of toned down or simplified. I know a lot of people are like hyping up damage 3.0 and they're saying, oh yeah, it's going to revolutionize damage and it's going to be this different way to play and all of that. I just want it to be simplified so more players can understand it. That way more players can get into the game a lot easier, because a lot of players who do pick up Warframe, they end up quitting because of, you know, they just simply don't understand it. That's why my beginner guide's got so many views, like 1 million views on a video that I made whenever I was, what, 16? 16. That was a year ago. So yeah, 16. And pretty crazy, you know, just because I was able to explain parts of the game. Probably another one of my really popular videos is basically explaining how damage works, which I do plan to recreate this year because I did miss a few things in that video. So yeah, you know, it's just I want to be as straightforward as possible whenever I'm making content. I want to be as straightforward as possible whenever it comes to talking about weapons or damage, where you can use it at. So for example, puncture is good against Grenier, impact is good against Corpus, slash is good against Infested. You know, you do that there. You really simplify it and you say, okay, well, you don't use a puncture weapon versus the Infested because your damage is going to drop off. I'm not the person that's going to say, oh yeah, you can just jump into a level 100 Infested mission with a weapon that has no slash stat. You know, that's not me. I'm not going to sit and say that to a newer player and say that, oh yeah, well, you have this false illusion in your mind that the Akjagara saying that they're a cool looking weapon, that you can make them good. That's just not something that is actually possible in Warframe, and I'm not going to sit here and lie to my audience about something like that. So that's why I make the videos saying that weapons are crap, and I know that's kind of like a almost aggressive way of putting it, but that's just how it has to be said. And if you don't agree with that, then I would politely ask you to leave my channel, simply because this is how I'm going to explain things from now on. I'm going to do this my way, and if you don't like it, you can leave. Of course, I'm open to criticism, all that good stuff. I've made mistakes in the past, I've owned up to them, you know, especially on this channel. Like, this channel is kind of like my livelihood, I guess. I sit and I think about this, like, more or less every day in terms of how I'm going to, like, tackle a new video. Sometimes I just pump out video after video after video. Sometimes I take time and I think about it. Like this one here, I sort of just sit and talk and gather my thoughts and how I'm going to tackle the video and all this good stuff. But, yeah, I just have to be blunt with it. There is some ways of modding. There is some weapons in the game that just suck, and I want to provide the most accurate information that I can on this channel without being misleading or anything of the sort. So that is going to be it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that like button below. I know this isn't like one of our scheduled videos like the Play Like a Pro one, but it is basically responding to the comments which I have been getting on Play Like a Pro. Like, why do you bother making the shit weapon? It's simply because I just want to make it clear that some weapons in the game basically don't deserve any time put into them, and it helps if a player knows that, so that way if a player picks up this series and they watch it, they will know, and they'll be able to sort of identify crap weapons from good weapons. That's basically it. So anyway, guys, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit like. If you want to see more Warframe content from me, hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video at 6 PM UK time tomorrow. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.